let's hop on over and have some fun at the expense of someone. This has to have been shot before his appearance on Hannity, right? Because his hair's gray again. When the fuck was this? October 14th? I guess not. Maybe he makes a bunch of these and then posts them. He auto-posts them. Ugh. By the way, dude, what is this like weird foreign hotel TV in the background behind your desk? Wait, do people walk in? Is this supposed to impress people that like they walk into your office? I'll be with you in a minute, guys. I'll be with you in a minute. Feet up on the credenza, staring at this tiny little like I'll give you credit, 2003 monitor. Do you think he used the spray on hair like we use in plays? I think it's the stuff that Rudy maybe got a can of Rudy's stuff. Guys. Okay, guys.
The truth is that Hollywood's elite actors can get ripped while adding 12, 15, even 20 pounds of muscle in just a few weeks because they follow a long forgotten and suppressed by the fitness industry secret that was used for generations of bodybuilders and athletes before steroids were even invented.
I get further and further in by the time I hit the 90 days.
Okay, guys, today we're going to talk the NFL.
Okay, guys, today we're going to talk about how steroids have never worked. Nonsense. Okay, guys, here's me reading my thing. This is a perfunctory video. Okay, guys. And by the way, the title of this is Hypocrite Dems Are Silent About Hunter Biden, which, by the way, way to be cutting edge. If anything is so 5 minutes ago, it's the fake Hunter Biden laptop. Because at this point, don't you think that like Rudy Giuliani would have sold that laptop to Don Jr. for some blow and hairspray if in a minute? Where is it? Where's the laptop? Hold it up. Show it. Every time you go on screen, go, here's the laptop. Here's a picture of it. It's got the Beau Biden sticker on it. How do you know it's the real one? Because it is. I open it up. There you go. There's the screen. How do you know I didn't put the screen there? Well, you got to trust me. No, like passcode, get into it. I don't have the passcode. Well, how'd you know it's in it in the first place? Some other person opened it for me. Well, show me how they did it. I don't know. Okay, so it's not the Hunter Biden laptop? Yeah, it is. Good God. Guys, here's me reading my notes from the Heritage Foundation that I put on a Post-it just below.
On the controversy with John Gruden's coach, who seemed to have some selectively leaked emails from over a decade ago come out. And
some selectively leaked emails from over a decade ago. So you're not arguing that he said what he said, and then he might still be saying what he said. You're just saying it's selective. What part did they leave out? The part where he goes, I was just kidding about all those racial and anti-gay epithets.
Interesting to me that the same people that want to burn John Gruden's at the stake for saying some stupid things in private emails 10 years ago were awfully quiet.
Officially, by the way, in case you're worried, in case you're new to Earth and you're just learning English, this guy he's talking about just lost his job as a head coach of an NFL team for calling one of the first openly gay NFL player an anti-gay pejorative, and referred to black players by a racial pejorative repeatedly over the years while he was working as a commentator. And so he wasn't actually burned at the stake. No one's been calling for that. He just lost his job. He's still alive, and he's medium rare as far as I know.
When leaked text messages from world-renowned artist, banker, oil tycoon, and son of the President of the United States, Hunter Biden, recently and repeatedly dropped the N-word with reckless abandon, no one had a problem with that, but some off-color language, not nearly as bad.
I see. So this is the idea that the A versus the hard R argument. Is that what we're going to have?
As what Hunter did in John Gruden's emails.
By the way, if Hunter Biden's emails came out and he was the head of a football team and he, had a job like that sort of mattered as far as sports fans, where he was making fun of the black players, and he was making, I would suggest he lose his job. And for the record, I'm not buying. I didn't have any plans to, but I'm not buying any of Hunter Biden's paintings. Just so you know.
Were leaked to the press.
Not that I don't think blowing can't be art.
He's fired, he's canceled, and he's out. Now,
yeah, as a football coach, because he's talking about the players in the NFL. It's gonna be a little hard for them to recruit people, good players in the draft to the Raiders. If you're like, oh, you want me to go work for the guy who called my people a racial epithet? Okay, yeah, that'll work. How about this? How about I go to Pittsburgh?
Were leaked. I guess it's a few emails out of 650,000 emails from the.
Yeah, you don't get a percentage rule. Dude, guys, the rule is you keep your racist, misogynistic, homophobic, and anti-gay epithets to a 3 to 2%. You're golden. Anytime you write, all you got to do, and this is the plan. This is what my dad used. Guys. All you got to do is, what's the plan? The plan is, you got, every time you write a racist email, just write 10 other emails about anything. Just don't use one. Just write everything, like, I really need to drop a hard R in this email. And you just write that out. And then, guys, what you do is you do 10 other emails. Just write to Home Depot would go, nice lawn lights. And then you send those out. And then it just basically, it pads it out.
Well, nothing else seemed to be leaked. Nothing else was there. So it almost feels to me like it's a...
Yeah, he hadn't murdered anyone. He was just fired for the stuff he was fired for.
Attack. But what I want to do is, let's see the emails of all the texts of Roger Goodell, NFL commissioner, every NFL owner, every NFL executive, because we must find out if they've said anything wrong, if they've ever shared a controversial thought, if they've held an opinion that wasn't PC. No statute of limitations. We can't allow these people to hide behind their white privilege. We must.
I see. So one guy gets busted for it. So the idea is that everybody is a hypocrite in the NFL, in the owners. By the way, just in case any NFL team owners are watching right now, what Junior's making the case of is that because this asshole got caught and called out for being a scumbag, the assumption is that the rest of you are exactly the same, that this is how you talk and this is how you think. So we need to get access because, freedom. This doesn't sound like, the Chinese social credit score or anything.
Cancel them immediately. It's sort of strange, right? The New York Times...
Right? It's just right. It's strange, right? I just wrote this thing. I got a note right here that I'm reading. These are just spontaneous thoughts. Guys, I'm just coming... This is off the top of my head. This wasn't faxed to me. Guys, I'm not looking at anything that's like right here, somewhere in this general area. I'm not doing that. And also, my nose always sounds like this. It is not destroyed by cocaine.
This story, and yet they didn't fire one of their writers for anti-Semitic tweets. They gave him a total pass. So maybe hypocrisy.
Who? Some random news, what is it, the Post or somebody like that, if they didn't fire somebody because they made former ones, they should. That's not a case.
Kind of their brand and the media's brand, but it seems to be going on throughout all of this, okay?
Does it? Keep reading. There has to be a point right there. Clinton's in the ICU. I know they're watching him, and he's been better apparently. So hopefully that's not a slip. That's just where they're keeping him because he's a former president.
Forget the Chiefs wide receiver Tyreek Hill pled guilty to punching and choking his pregnant girlfriend. Yet he still collects a paycheck from the NFL.
He shouldn't. What the fuck is this two wrongs make a right bullshit? He's still... And by the way, ask your dad if that guy should be kicked out of the NFL. Because your dad is going to say, I don't care if he punches his wife as long as he can kick a football, right?
Gruden used a little bit of bad language. Not even racist. I mean, there's some African-American sports writers that have chimed in and be like, it's not racist, it's maybe stupid, but someone, whatever it may be.
Yeah. Let that be your hill to die on.
Clearly not like dropping the N-word like Hunter Biden. And he won't be collecting a paycheck, right? There are people that have signed various players, like the guys.
Look at what list is this? And by the way, this is hypocrite Dems are silent about Hunter Biden. The Democrats didn't get the Raiders coach fired. The fuck are you talking about?
Signed Richard Sherman, right? No problem. Earlier this month, the Buccaneers. They signed Richard Sherman, who is currently facing criminal charges, also for domestic violence. The Buccaneers weighed in on
and isn't that guy on like limited play, but they're going to let him play until it works its way through the courts, innocent till proven guilty? I'm sorry, is it Grinnell? Is that his name? Was he making a case that he didn't send those emails and that he was hacked? He's making that case at all? Or did he admit and step down?
On their former Super Bowl winning coach. And they had
comments. Oh, fuck. You just spit on the camera. Dude, first of all, you're reading. Second of all, this is a rambling crap video. But then he hacks up. Or is that just your dad blowing Adderall chunks? Watch this.
Former Super Bowl winning coach. And
ew. Fucking ew. Ew. Reshoot it. It's a 5-minute video and you're not doing that well to begin with. Jesus. Dude, that's hideous.
The Buccaneers weighed in on this, on their former Super Bowl winning coach. And they had...
he just totally booger gleeked. Oh. Who doesn't know that much spit has come out of your mouth when you're filming a video? Do you think nobody's going to know? It's not. And again, look, I do this show live, so I'm sensitive to the idea that sometimes during lives there can be little fails that happen, and maybe you edit them out later, maybe you just leave it, and that's just life. But these aren't live. He's taping these stupid things.
Commentary on it. Strangely enough, they could still sign Richard Sherman. So there is a little bit of insanity to all of this, right? 600.
No, it's inconsistent across the NFL. These are privately owned teams under the NFL. The NFL cannot force any of the teams to do this. The teams do this of their own choice. This is private industry. They're not run by the fucking government. If they discover something about one of their people or their players, or they go through with it and they let them go. I mean, your dad just endorsed Herschel Walker, for fuck's sake. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Here's it. Bless his heart. Hi, Herschel. This is Herschel Walker, and Trump endorsed him. At first glance, hold on. Whoops. At first glance, Herschel Walker has a coveted political profile for a potential Senate candidate in Georgia. Football hero, blah, 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 blah. But an Associated Press review of hundreds of pages of public records tied to Walker's business ventures and his divorce, including many not previously reported, sheds new light on a turbulent personal history that could dog his Senate bid. We're looking at this in the context of Junior defending racist and sexist and homophobic, misogynistic emails, really, and anti-gay emails by the now fired LA Raiders coach. The documents detail accusations he repeatedly threatened his ex-wife's life, exaggerate claims of financial success, alarm business associates with unpredictable behavior, including playing Russian roulette. He's been diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, once known as multiple personality disorder, but it's unclear how he would discuss these events as candidate. Let's see. Warnock, Walker certainly can bring a lot of things to the table. Walker has yet to announce his intentions. I'm getting ready. We can run with big dogs. Twitter tease intensifies buzz. Let's see. In his book, Walker acknowledges violent urges. He writes that he played Russian roulette and recounts sitting at his kitchen table in 1991, pointing a gun loaded with a single bullet at his head, saying, "I wasn't suicidal, but just looked at mortality as the ultimate challenge." That's who you want in charge of, the budget for your, federal funds going to your state. Logical side of me knew that what I was doing to this man. Watershed moment, he writes, came in when he drove around suburban Dallas hunting for a man who he said was avoiding his calls for being days late delivering a car Walker had purchased. The logical side of me knew that what I was thinking of doing to this man, murdering him for messing up my schedule, wasn't a viable alternative. But another side of me was so angry that all I could think about was how satisfying it would be to step out of the car, pull out the gun, slip off the safety, and squeeze the trigger. He had his mind changed by a "Smile, Jesus loves you" bumper sticker. Thank goodness. I'm glad he was in his car and hadn't driven past a gun range. Let's see. And when his book was released, she told ABC News that at one point during her marriage, her husband pointed a pistol at her head, saying, "I'm going to blow your effing brains out." She cited a physically abusive and extremely threatening behavior in her divorce. He expressed to me that he was frustrated with his wife and that he felt like he had had enough and that he wanted to blow their effing heads off. His dad just endorsed this dude. Yeah.
50,000 emails, and John Gruden's are the only ones there. Now, I've also read, I guess on Barstool maybe, that apparently there are others. There are other emails like this, but these were the only ones that were leaked. These were the only ones out there. So it's probably a hit piece. But remember, guys,
it's probably a hit piece. Tell you what, when it's a hit piece, make a video and stop spitting on the fucking screen.
Only goes one way. When a guy like Hunter Biden can do art galleries and be renowned, and they talk about him in the White House every day. And
he was a crack addict at the time, and he's made amends for that and said it was due to his addiction and how it affected his brain. I'm going to give an addict a lot of leeway. If Grinnell's making the case that he was under the influence of drugs during that time, or that he was drunk emailing, have at it. Make that case. I said things when I was intoxicated I never would have said. Cool. Most people will go, all right, sorry about that. And a lot of people won't believe it, but a lot of people will give you a little wiggle room in that area. He's not making that case. Hunter Biden is like, I was smoking massive amounts of crack during that time.
Proud of his accomplishments as an artist in the White House. I'd have a feeling that they'd say I was taking bribes if I was an artist. It's a little different, but...
Yeah, but no one ever expects you to do anything artistic in your entire life. Art serves a function. It makes people happy. It teaches. It extends understanding. You are incapable of that. Keep reading your Post-its.
Mention of that. He can drop the N-word with reckless abandon. No problem.
Well, no, he didn't drop it with reckless abandon. Again, on crack, freaking out, emailing his lawyer, I think, when he sent those. Apologized for it, is making amends, has been sober, is cleaning his life up. That's what you got to do. Different from the coach of an NFL team who's like, yeah, I wrote it, but who cares? Well, please leave.
Harm, no foul. Also, apparently, the NFL knew about this months ago, and there were other people that were involved, and they didn't have a problem with that. So it seems like maybe they just hated John Gruden, and they wanted to wipe him.
What notes are you reading? This is the most reading we've ever seen him do, as far as looking at notes. Who is feeding this bullshit to him to make a video out of this? Why does this fucking matter? And again, the video is called "Hypocrite Dems Are Silent About Hunter Biden." I don't know, call me crazy. I thought perhaps in a video like this, he might go, P.S. there's more stuff that's been found, and Hunter Biden's doing a tour around the country holding up the laptop and showing it to people, and it's true. It's not. He's just somehow saying that this is a hypocrisy because some people get away with stuff and other people don't.
So this is the way to do it, because if you have almost almost 3/4 of a million emails, and these are the only ones that leak, maybe it's a targeted hit.
Well, they're the only ones that matter in showing how his behavior might affect who he would bring onto his team and how those people were treated. Who gives a shit about him any emails about business stuff or scheduling or any of that? None of that affects anybody's life. Nobody gives a shit about those. That does make up the majority. We're going to see all of his spam email from, dick pills. Who cares?
They were leaked with intention.
You think Gorka writes his stuff for him? Alan, that's a good call.
Because let's just say that's how this works, guys. Maybe it's because he called Joe Biden a clueless PUS. Okay? Probably.
How do you spell it? Sorry.
Also not wrong. Maybe it's not nice language, but they're in private emails. Again, have any of these people, any of these coaches, any of these executives, any of these NFL owners, any of these players maybe use the word gay? Maybe in the 90s before it was exactly shunned like it is today.
I don't know. Let's look. Here's a good idea. Like, I can't speak to these other folks, Don. Many of us can't. You know what I mean? These are NFL team owners. They're billionaires, most of them. Obviously, they have gold emails. They're not going to let you see them. You can maybe bite one occasionally to check that it's real. But here's a good idea. Why don't you show us all your emails and make the case that of why you believe that theirs have got to have these kind of epithets in them, in their business emails, that there is an absolute tidal wave of evidence that these guys say this stuff, and why you would believe that. Because if we looked at your emails, for example, from a week ago or yesterday, there's tons of phrases like this and a lot of incriminating evidence. How about that? Stop offering up other people's email as an example that some people get away with bullshit and others don't. And let us know if you are coming from a point of, of piousness, of, you're operating at a higher ethical and moral level than they are. And you're making that point that all it takes to not be that way is just to write like Don Jr. I'm going to guess no. Here's a good idea. Don't show us all your emails. Just the ones between you and your dad. You can even leave out the ones where you're talking about Ivanka and Eric, because I'm certain those are full of all kinds of epithets.
They ever use that kind of language? Because if so, they should be canceled. I know I never did that when I was in high school, and we were in different times. Did they ever maybe use the word retarded? Clearly something we would never think about using today. I imagine some of them might have done that. Do we hold them accountable for using that kind?
No, not most of the time, And again, if they apologize or if they've ceased to do it.
Disgusting and terrible language.
Still just reading off this nonsense. I mean, are he and Ben sniffing the same batch of Ritalin?
That just about everyone we know has probably seen or has a friend or have themselves sent emails with much worse stuff than what Gruden has said, but they're not going to be held accountable because there's no objective in the end, okay? If you're pretending you're not, you're probably lying. I'm just saying it, okay? That's the reality.
Right, show us your emails. Tell us how you know that.
Of the situation. So it's a sad day in America when John Gruden's emails get more scrutiny and backlash than the president's son, who's now going to be a world-renowned artist on the forefront of these things and the art world. Very sophisticated people. No problem. Nothing to see here.
So jealous. It's a beautiful thing to watch. Look at the look on his face. Look at the reading. Just pitiful. I mean, the freeze frames all look like he's crying for daddy's love. All of them. I mean, every time we stop, he looks like he's either blowing someone or he's crying for Papa.
Folks, but that's where we are, right? The NFL will be outraged about this. They will cancel this, but they can have multiple wife beaters. They can have people accused of being charged of domestic.
Yes, just go ahead. Shit on the NFL in totality, because the Las Vegas Raiders decided to fire their coach for when racist and anti-gay emails came to light. How the fuck is this all right.
Violence, they'll collect the paycheck, no problem. That's what we got to watch out for, guys, because the outrage.
Why do we have to watch out for any of this? The fuck are you talking about?
Guys, I know you've got families, lives, jobs, work. Guys, you're trying to pay attention to bills that are being passed. You got to vote next year. Guys, but what we got to watch out for is the rampant hypocrisy in the world of the NFL. We got to look out for that, guys, because freedom
only goes one way. The outrage always serves a purpose, and it's never really the woke PC nonsense purpose that they pretended to be. It's just a way to take out their enemies. So pay attention.
How is he an enemy? How is he? How is the fucking coach of the Las Vegas Raiders some sort of like important point on the chessboard? Why is he, the knight or the bishop? Who gives a shit? Nobody cared. They did it for a business reason. It got out. He got fired because it got out. The other teams are dealing with the criminal element or the behavior of their players, and that's up to the fans of those teams and the NFL in general if they want to have a harder policy on stuff. If somebody's convicted of domestic violence, more than likely it's going to affect gameplay, one would think. But being accused of it and going through trial, everyone gets a chance to continue working while they're, awaiting trial for something. If they're released, if they're not, if they make bail or bond, right? That's just life. So all the accusation parts, there should be court about those things. There should be jail time involved if they're guilty of those things. Up until then, though, people are innocent until proven guilty. I have no problem with that. Even if it's self-evident to the rest of us, we have a legal system for a reason. That said, that has nothing to do with this. The emails are true. He admitted that. They pressured him and he stepped down.
Make sure it's not happening to you.
Yes, I will make.
Okay, guys,
I will make sure that I am not fired as the head coach of the NFL for anti-gay, sexist, and racist emails that I wrote years ago that I didn't write. I will be watching that experience like a hawk.